Hello folks, Trouble T Cat here. Sorry about that. Trouble T Cat here, and welcome back to part 3 of my playthrough of Civilization 6, playing as Rome. And I guess, having murdered everyone near us, we're now going to have a nice period of peaceful building for a little while. Turn off this grid. If you're wondering why I keep the grid and resource icons turned off, it's basically just for immersion. You will see me switch them on when I need them, and otherwise keep that stuff turned off so that I can enjoy these lovely graphics. And in fact, a lot of people have complained about the art style in this game, but I think it looks pretty good. I'm not mad. Let's go ahead and repair this monument. You can never have too much culture. So, how do I want to deploy my military at the moment? We're still thinking Rome is going to be attacked by barbarians relatively soon, so I'm going to send some dudes over there. I'm going to spread these archers out to sort of the border cities. Oh, fuck it. Most of these guys can't move this turn anyway. You just fortify until healed. We will connect this. The last time I played was last night, so I don't 100% remember everything that was going on, probably, because it's been a few hours since I last played, but I'm sure we'll be fine. So, as I was... Oh dear, they're gonna loot my caravan, and I don't think I can do anything about it.
A lasting legacy, because bronze will last for thousands of years.
He's right, you know, it will. Yeah, I don't think I can actually do anything at all to stop that scout from looting my caravan, which is really annoying. I mean, I guess what I can do is just pray that he doesn't feel like looting it immediately and start moving my troops over. So where do we've got some iron there. Do we have any other iron around here anywhere? Not as such. So our God of the Craftsman is not going to do as much for us as we might have liked, but that's alright. Oh wait. There's some right there, which is in fact already mined, so that's good. We can get some legions up and running immediately if we have the money to upgrade some of these units, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm just thinking about my military deployment. We will want to send another guy up to Kyoto. I basically just want to spread these guys out so that wherever there are barbarians, I have some troops available to deal with that. You can stay here for now. You... head up to Kyoto, I guess. Send this scout out in this direction. Check out the expansion of... I think this is Samaria, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll find out when we get over there. So... Do we need sailing yet? Like, we don't actually have any sea resources we can improve, so we still don't really need sailing, but it will complete in only 2 turns, so I'm going to get it for that reason. Do we want to get a shrine built here? We probably do, because I think I am going to try and get a religion founded. Unless, do we need the granite? Yeah, housing capacity's shot here, so we either need to build farms, which we can't do because this is tundra, so we'll have to get the granary here. Kyoto's in quite a bad place. Like, that's a very bad spawn location for Japan. They were definitely going to have a pretty hard time with that kind of a start. Not very good. Not very good. Where do I want to send this worker? I can clear these marshes and start putting some farms in around Rome. That is a tempting option. Or, I mean, Seoul doesn't really need anything because it's got 2 improved tiles and only 1 citizen. Kyoto, there's nothing we can do. We could put a mine here. I think that's about it. Hang on. I'm just going to move my mic slightly further away because I can hear my breath hitting that a little bit hard. How about this? Actually, Kyoto might benefit from a mine there. Its production's not super good. Yeah, let's go ahead and get that because we want to improve Kyoto as much as we can because it's in such a rough location to start with. So we'll head up there. You can go up to Kyoto. You will just go here. Yes, so I was rewatching the stuff I recorded yesterday and I realized I contradicted myself in the first 2 videos. In one of them, it might have actually been within the same video, can't recall. But I said at some point, like, that I usually play very passively, and I also said that it is typical for me to do early aggression against anyone who spawns near me. And I think it's kind of, I think kind of my playstyle's changed a bit in Civ 6. Largely, it's so much easier to expand rapidly in this game early on compared to Civ 5 that I really feel like, you know, I want lots and lots of space even early in the game because you can quite easily just get a lot of cities built early on, and that's really good. That's a really good thing to do because you end up with a lot of cities, and they all have plenty of time to develop over the course of the game. So you get lots of really solid cities by the mid to late game, and that's really good. So because of that, because I have this greater desire to rapidly expand, not to just to, like in Civ 5, I would generally very quickly expand to, say, 4 cities, and then kind of slow down my expansion a bit, still build a few more over the course of the rest of the game, but generally fairly slowly building up after that, whereas in Civ 6, what I've found is that what I tend to enjoy doing. We have 2 builds left here, right? We can improve this with a mine and then also go get those crabs improved. Yep. What I tend to like to do in Civ 6 is early on expand as much as I can, like 7, 8, 9 cities, something like that, just building as many cities as I sort of have space for, have good locations. Is this guy just sitting here fortified? Because you should be exploring. And then sort of get all my expanding done relatively early in the game, and then after that, just focus on building up what I have, which is a little bit different to how I played previously. We are going to want to build a harbor here and one here as well at some point, but we don't yet, so we don't need celestial navigation just yet. Yeah, I mean, let's get iron working so we have our legions available to us. They are our unique unit after all. And Soul's in quite a rough spot, although we'll be able to build an aqueduct on either of these tiles, so, or even one of these tiles, although that's not really an option because of the resources there. But for now, let's get the granary up, because that's what we can, that is what we can do to give more housing. We want to improve this, obviously. Yeah, so I just like the changes to the way, the lack of global happiness and the changes to the way settling new cities and expanding your empire works in Civ 6 has led me to generally play a more aggressive early game. It's also the fact that you have no warmongering penalties for early wars. It just means early in the game, in the ancient area especially, but also into the classical era, if you can take things from your opponents relatively easily, then it makes strategic sense to do so. Nobody's going to get mad at you down the road for it. You definitely want to have a lot of sort of open area around your borders that you can freely expand into. And so you end up being, or at least I end up being, quite mean to my neighbors in the early game, whereas in Civ 5 I generally played as more of a pacifist. I also tend to feel that war is less of a chore in Civ 6 compared to Civ 5, and I'm not 100% sure why that is, because like unit movement, for example, is generally slower in Civ 6 because of the changes to the amount of movement. This is kind of hard to explain in the way that's going to make sense for people who haven't played the games, so I'm just not going to bother. But basically, the changes they've made to the movement system mean that generally troops move a bit slower across the map compared to Civ 5, which you'd think would make war more laborious, but I've actually had the opposite experience. It kind of also, I feel, makes it easier to keep dudes in formation properly, stuff like that. And I don't know, just war feels a lot less tedious to me for some reason. So we're going to be changing governments here. I'm not expecting another war anytime soon. So maybe we go classical republic rather than going into oligarchy or autocracy. I mean, we can always change later, I think. I've never actually changed governments aside from changing to a later era government. I don't know what happens if I try to go from, say, a classical republic to an oligarchy. It's possible you get some kind of... What's this? Ah. It's possible you get some kind of negative effect from that. I would have to get rid of Agoge or put it in this slot. Well, okay, so... I definitely want to put on Revelation. I can probably do without, and I'm going to use Diplomatic League to... Sorry, I'm going to use Charismatic Leader to get more envoys available. And in terms of economic policies, I think I am going to build a few settlers relatively soon, so colonization might be good, and we would also benefit from Oakham. If we could have, like, 3 economic policies, actually, that'd be good, but that's not possible. So I think it's going to be Classical Republic, because our military policy is not doing as much for us as some of this other stuff could be. I like having... I pretty much keep Charismatic Leader on for the entire game until you get Gunboat Diplomacy, which is the same thing, but a little bit better. Just because I like getting my envoys. I like having lots and lots of envoys. So, yeah, let's keep urban planning, and let's get colonization on here with the intent to expand along the coast here and expand towards... We kind of want to block the expansion of this civ from getting too close to us at any point. There's about to be a bunch of barbarians spawned here, but I have the warriors to deal with that. Try and deal with this. You go over there and help out there. Get our military all nice and positioned so that we are nicely defended. We probably don't actually need to worry about much happening over here at Seoul. I'll leave the archer there, just because nice to have a garrison, but we'll move this warrior out to do some fightings. I'm not going to be using either of those immediately, or... How are we doing for amenities? Do I need amenities? I keep saying amenities instead of amenities. I apologize for that. I do not need to be building any entertainment districts anytime soon. We have lots of amenities available. So, basically I don't need any of these immediately. What else? What can we get if we sort of take a look here? We will want to be able to build a temple not too long after we get our religion. So let's get drama and poetry so we have the prereq for theology. I do want to start pumping out settlers, but I feel like Kyoto we need to sort of build up a bit more because it's in a really rough location. But that wasn't Kyoto's production I was just looking at. Fukuoka. Okay, so what do I want to build here? What do I want to get here? You're doing okay for housing for the moment. Yeah, I mean, we could get a settler here. It means I need to decide where I'm actually going to send them. I think settling a city along the coast here somewhere would be nice, but there's no mountains and no fresh water anywhere. So anything built on the coast is going to have a bit of a hard time. And again, I definitely want to found something in this direction. We have a bit of fresh water here, but it's all tundra, which makes it a bit unappealing to settle out here. Let's send this scout down south. Hi, Gilgamesh. I think we'll start a settler and we'll plan to expand towards Sumeria here. And we'll use our scout to try and figure out the best spot to do that. Because as much as we can sort of pen in our neighbors so that they can't expand too much, at least not easily, and I can expand a lot, that is going to be excellent. Very good for us. I'm really not a good person to be near. I mean, maybe somewhere in this area, like, we could get, that's in range of Rome, so that's okay. We will get control of that copper eventually. Deer and stuff. This would be a good spot, actually. We'd get the cotton, and if we built right here, we could reach these truffles as well. Oh, that's cattle, not truffles. Not as important. But we could build somewhere on sort of this side of the lake. How far are we from Rome at that point? 3, 4, 5, 6 tiles. So this would be a good place, or next to the mountain. Although I like saving these mountain tiles for districts. I think right there is probably going to be good. I do want something more northwards as well, but it's really not appealing. I mean, I'm kind of inclined to, like, maybe they can have the tundra city next to this fresh water if they want it. Although it's not bad with these deer here. No hill tiles, which is unfortunate. I like founding cities on hills where possible. That is truffles. I already have a source of truffles, though, so it's not a big deal. But we could found a city, like, say, right here, although that might be a bit far. We could found a city on one of these tiles on the far side of this lake. And we would have fresh water, but it'll be a little bit rough because it's flatland tundra tiles, so it's going to be not the best. In any case, we will start a settler here. And I guess decide specifically where we're going to put the city a bit later. And I would really like to found somewhere around here, which this is looking good, actually. We got some fresh water here. There's another dude we want to block. So like a city here would eventually be able to get a harbor. It would block the expansion of whoever this dickhead is in our south. That would be a good place as well. Let's actually pin that. City. Just gonna put down a few pins for possible locations, and I would think here. Not even gonna bother naming these because I will know what they are. And right here. And we'll also want to settle somewhere down along this river, and then if we settle 2, 3, 4 more cities, that'll bring us up to 9 cities, which is a pretty decent expanse of land. So we might be happy with that as being the sort of core of our empire. We can expand more through conquest later on if we feel like it, or what have you. Let's see. Do I just want to? I'm thinking I just want to build a farm right here, but there might be something better I could do, possibly. No, I think for now I'm just going to use you to put down a farm right to here. Get a little bit more housing and food for this city. So this stage of the game might be a little bit less exciting than the first couple parts, because we are now just in a time of peaceful expansion. Oh, I should have sent him down here. Oh, no. The city will have its own builders soon enough, so that's good. We don't really need any more military units over here dealing with this camp. This will be easily handled by the archer and such. You kill this guy. Let's just send this guy to hang out near Rome for the time being. Oh, is there another coast sort of here? That might be a really good space. Oh yeah, so that'll be another sort of, I'll be able to get a harbor district if I build that city there. So I think that's probably the next sort of best location. So that'll probably be where I put this next city. But I do definitely want to scout down here. Saladin. So Saladin's going to go heavy religion, just because that's kind of his thing, which is annoying, because it means I'm going to have to deal with fucking billions of douchebag missionaries flooding my lands 24/7 trying to convert me. Not a fan of religion, just in general. Well, I mean, I don't mind if people keep that shit to themselves. It doesn't bother me that people are religious, but not a fan of people trying to spread their religion in real life or in the game. It's annoying to deal with. So this location is looking a little bit close to, I mean, if we want to put a city there, we pretty much have to do it. Oh no, that's going, Cairo's borders will never expand beyond this point. So it's actually not super close. We might be better off putting it on this hill.
The Lord made us all out of iron. Then he turns up the heat to forge some.
No, this is going to be the best balance in terms of... So I should maybe prioritize doing that, though, because I don't want Saladin to... This is a good space for a city, and I don't want Saladin to take it. Gilgamesh, we might just position some scouts and keep an eye for any settlers coming in our direction. And if he sends settlers at us, we might declare war and take them from him. But let's get a better idea of what is... Can we get open borders with you, actually? Oh, shit. Shit, see, I didn't send him a delegation immediately, and now he's just like, no, don't think so. It's what always happens. If you send people a delegation the turn you meet them, they're generally pretty nice to you. This guy's hidden agenda means he doesn't like me for some reason. They tend to accept them, but if you wait, they'll just be like, no, I'm mad now. What do you want? 6 gold a turn. Fuck you. I don't need open borders that badly. Wow, this guy fucking really doesn't like me for unknown reasons. Okay, it looks like this is going to be a bit of a an unfriendly continent for my people. We should get masonry. We should plan to get some walls built in our new cities that we're thinking of founding, because I get the impression we're going to have a lot of wars in the classical era. A lot of wars. Which I'm basically fine with, but, you know, you want to be prepared, and yeah, let's upgrade these dudes to legions. With most of our money, but keeping your military modern is always good. It is said by my people that the house of a tyrant is a ruin, and the ruin is around you. You have different governments. So he's got that hidden agenda where he likes people who share his government type and really hates people who don't share his government type. So we might be looking at where... There must be a camp right here or something like that. That's really annoying. I need to heal up these guys before I actually send them out to deal with that. We maybe want actually to send this archer down here to help out as well. 5 turns to get there? Yeah, fuck it. May as well. You're not doing anything important in Seoul. We have a builder here. How are we doing for... Oh, we're pretty much housing capped because... Yep. So we better get the granary built here. We're going to be doing great for amenities, though, with marble and citrus at the city, and we got a bunch of... Yeah, we're going to be doing really good for amenities for quite a while here. I'm just going to use these warriors at the moment to keep scouting in this direction. Archer, you can go back. And we do want to keep an eye on Gilgamesh's possibility for expanding towards us, which we don't want, because we definitely do want to build these cities out here. I think that'll be great. Now, what we hope for is that if we end up going to war with these guys, which is seeming likely, they declare war on us, because I think we get a little bit less warmonger penalty when we capture all of their cities if we did not start the war. I think. Well, I don't know. I think you get some immediate warmonger penalty just for starting a war, and then you get different amounts when you capture cities and stuff like that. But I believe if we didn't start the fighting, we generally don't get that bad of a penalty.
Or cutting a piece of stained glass in the construction of something much bigger than ourselves.
That's a nice quote. I don't know which one of these to get. I'm just going to pick currency because it's the fastest, and none of these are looking super appealing to me just at the moment. Finish that dude off. When we get... I like seeing the animations. When we get later in the game, I will turn on the fast animation mode, but for the moment I do like watching it. So, Uruk, this would be pretty rough to capture. He's got walls up, and he's got his unique unit, the war cart. So we probably don't want to be aggressive in a war against Sumeria at this point. Do I want to build my fort here? Not really. I don't know. I don't know quite what the best thing to do with those forts will be. We'll see if we ever even build a single one. Really depends. They can be quite good. Like, if you end up in a defensive war where you're facing a lot of enemy troops, I guess those Roman forts could be quite useful. But I don't tend to be a big fan of sort of static defenses just in general, because, I mean, it's a tile improvement. I'd rather build a farm there or something, right? Because the fort's only going to be useful to me in wars, whereas the farm is useful to me in war and peace. All the time, the farm is useful. Yeah, we will definitely want a city somewhere on this river. We got to figure out with our scout. It looks like Cairo is in this direction, kind of hemmed in by mountain ranges, which will make it difficult to attack, but also means they might not expand too much in this direction because there's all these mountains here. Oh, have to wait and see. Yeah, let's just go. Let's just go down that side. So it looks like this is going to be that coast of the continent. And it looks like Sumeria is just sitting at one city. I'm gonna try and sort of surround them. It doesn't look like they have much military at the moment, so I'm not really interested in capturing Uruk, to be completely honest, because that looks like it'd be a hard fight. Maybe, I mean, what's the terrain like? We could. So they got a couple of hills, but mostly this would be easy to attack with catapults, actually. Once I had catapults, there's lots of good places. It's not coastal, so yeah, I can siege this with 3 units. That wouldn't be too bad of a fight. It does have walls, so we'd be taking, we'd be taking some hits while we were fighting it, but I think in the end it wouldn't be so bad if we decided we did want to capture that city. Citrus. I do have an extra citrus, and I would like open borders. Yeah, okay. Now that we've made a happy, fun deal, would you maybe consider... wow, he's in the medieval era. We're not that far off. We should maybe think about getting some more research buildings built relatively soon, though. Find this barbarian camp. Ah, Congo, you motherfucker! Hello! I tend to find Congo is actually a decent neighbor as long as you found a religion and take the time to spread it to him. Congo tends to be a reasonably alright neighbor. So he's down here. Yeah, okay. So we want to build a city in here somewhere blocking off his expansion. And then, yeah, we'll be good. We'll have a fairly large piece of land to claim as our own. Then we can think about how we want to actually win this. Decide whether or not we want to kill everyone on our continent, or if we want to go for a more peaceful victory type. We definitely don't want culture, just because I've already won a culture victory. Alright, so there's more land to that side for Samaria, and it looks like they're currently happy expanding in that direction. I'm just going to surround them with these guys so that I can see if they send any settlers out towards me. And similarly, I'll probably send some of one of these legions down here to watch for Saladin sending any settlers in this direction.
By stairs, and at their side are water engines, by means of which persons, appointed expressly for the purpose, are continually employed in raising water from the Euphrates into the garden.
Excellent. I like having the hanging gardens.
The poets have been mysteriously silent on the subject of cheese.
Well, that's going to be the end of this part, looking at the time there. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. If I can actually stop the recording.